All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm your host, Mike Hamm. We are here at Bergen County Harley-Davidson in Rochelle Park with Brian Reyngoudt. Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Mike.
Yeah, it's great. I crushed the last name. I know that.
You did amazing.
Yeah, that's why I had to write it down.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. You know, you can't have a guest on and then pronounce their name wrong. It's just it's a very bad look.
Your name is very easy to say.
Yeah, it's very memorable, too. At least I hope so. So we're here at the Bergen County Harley-Davidson. We're here talking about Operation K9 Beethoven. So let's kind of learn a little bit about you and kind of your background, and then we'll kind of get into what Operation K9 Beethoven is all about.
Great. Like I said, once again, thanks for having Operation K9 Beethoven here. Like Mike said, we're at Bergen County Harley-Davidson in Rochelle Park. Born and raised in Hasbrook Heights, Bergen County, New Jersey. Several years ago, about 2 years ago or so, my parents were selling their house, and we had some kennels that we wanted to donate. My brother actually went and reached out to somebody that he knew, and I so happened to be at the house that day, and I got to meet this gentleman, Arpi Kertesz, who is our founder and the handler of all the dogs.
Okay.
And he's also our president of Operation K9 Beethoven.
Awesome.
And so my mother was a little stressed out, going through a bunch of stuff because selling a house after 40 years of memories, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And so Arpi pulls up, and there's Beethoven in the back. And he and I started talking, and after I gave him the kennels, I said,
and Beethoven's the dog.
Beethoven's the dog. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We weren't talking to Beethoven.
Yeah. So, we were just started talking, Arpi and I, and he says, my dog's a therapy dog, and this and that. I said, well, my mother loves dogs. I said, hey, would you mind, bringing Beethoven in the house and just hanging out with Mom for a few minutes? And he goes, absolutely. And so I can tell as soon as Beethoven walked in that house, my mother's face completely changed.
Yeah.
And Beethoven just sat at her feet, and my mother just was petting him. And at that moment, I'm like, this is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
I know all my life I knew dogs could do amazing things for us humans.
Right.
So he and I started talking about, the Veterans Home in Paramus, where my father was a resident at the time. And he says, I can't get in there right now. I said, no, unfortunately you can. He goes, but when I do, I will make sure that your father is the first person I get to visit.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a handshake agreement. Several weeks went by. He goes, I'm in there now. He goes, what's your father's name? I gave him that information, and he kept his word as a man.
Yeah.
And my father so happened to be the first person to meet Beethoven at the Paramus Veterans Home in Paramus, New Jersey.
Awesome.
And then they would just started talking about how we can, help people and veterans, and it just was a snowball effect. And we became very good friends. And then we did we were talking about fundraisers, and then unfortunately COVID happened.
Right.
So that kind of took a backseat to everything that we had all these ideas about. So Arpi then reached out to a friend of his, which is Justin, who's our Veterans Relations Officer at Operation K9 Beethoven, and they did a video here at Bergen County Harley-Davidson in Rochelle Park called A Veteran's Journey. I recommend everybody go and on YouTube and check that out.
Yeah.
And so after the video, the gentleman who was filming it said, what do you want to get out of Operation K9 Beethoven? And Justin's response was, well, like I said, I have a dog who's an emotional support dog. I want to be able to see if we can help every single veteran as we possibly can.
Right.
Because Zena's been there for me.
Yep.
And that struck a chord with Arpi. Arpi told me about that. And that's when we decided to do Operation K9 Beethoven.
Like get it all set up for
Get
real.
it all set up,
Yeah.
helping veterans one paw at a time. And it went from like veterans to help family members, wives, husbands who have the significant other who is serving this great country. And then it went from that to doing first responders. And that's how everything just snowballed.
Yeah.
And that's where we are today.
Yeah, no, I love that. And it's such a great story because it's just kind of like everybody being in the right place at the right time. So maybe take me through like all the stuff that you kind of do, like the places that you go, the places that you bring the dogs and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. So, Operation K9 Beethoven, we have two separate companies, so to speak. And the first one is our pet therapy program, where Archie and Beethoven and some of their best friends, they go and they visit nursing homes.
Yeah.
They're therapy dogs. They go into schools to teach, elementary school kids to how to approach a dog safety. And like I said, we also go into nursing homes, veterans homes, to have, a lot of these residents have had dogs.
Right.
And unfortunately, they're not able to do so because they're in that situation in that moment.
Sure.
And sometimes what we do is we'll go to a private residency to, bring Beethoven or Archie, just to let them spread their love, their affection, puts a smile on these people's faces, and it just calms them and lets them forget about maybe what's going on in their life in that moment.
Sure, yeah.
And the dogs love doing it. I've gotten to see the look on people's faces when they meet these amazing animals. They're so calm and cool and collective. They just want to give their love.
Yeah. I mean, Beethoven's very calm and cool right now.
Look at Beethoven.
You can see him on the camera if you're watching on YouTube, but he's just chilling. I love that. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So
I feel calm.
You feel relaxed?
Yeah, very relaxed.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's what we do, and that's our first company. And then the other side of Operation K9 Beethoven is, like I've said, is to help our veterans, family members, and first responders who suffer from PTSD, depression, anxiety. We try to pair fully emotional support dogs to them at no charge to them at all.
Right.
We're all volunteer.
Yeah.
Myself and the rest of the team, we're all volunteer. We don't make any money at this. So all the money that we make from merchandise sales or doing fundraisers goes right back to Operation K9 Beethoven, so that when we have a recipient, we're able to get that animal to wherever they live safe and sound to their forever home.
Yeah. So how do you find those dogs that are going to be like in that second part, the second business? Like, how do you find those dogs?
So we have an amazing rescue called Second Chance Animal Rescue of Perry in Georgia.
Okay.
These dogs are rescued from kill shelters. They're rescued from euthanasia, off the streets.
Yeah.
They get brought to the rescue. They get brought back to health. And then they get temper checked. And depending on their temperament, that's when they'll enter the Operation K9 Beethoven company.
Got it.
And then from there, depending on certain situations, they get brought back up to Copenhagen, New York, which is our training center called K9 Training Center, where they do like a 4-week, 5-week boot camp style training.
Yeah.
And then from that moment on, after that dog passes those courses and graduates, that's when we're able to then present or give that animal to the veteran, the family member, or the first responder.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's awesome. But like, so I guess my other question would be, I would imagine the intensity of the training has to be pretty significant, just because like you have dogs, like you said, you do the temperament check and all that kind of stuff, but then obviously you're going to make sure that you're going to make a good match for whoever you're matching it with, and we're going to get that into that a little bit in the second segment. But like, maybe take me through the kind of the process, I guess, of getting the dogs trained to make sure that they're ready to go and be,
Well, they do a lot of like obedience training.
Yeah.
Obviously the dog has to have a calm, cool temperament.
Right.
So we, like you said in the second segment, we will divulge into that on how we pair that certain animal to that certain individual.
Sure.
So it's a lot of, running on the treadmill. I've seen videos of, Melissa doing that. It's obedience. It's, a bunch of things are put together so that dog can then be able to service that individual in any way they possibly can.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because I found that interesting too, because like I was telling you on the phone and just before we started recording, we had the Seeing Eye on, which obviously does a lot of stuff with dogs. I mean, that's their whole thing. And like they, have like a 4-month training program, like all that kind of stuff. So I just find that really interesting just because like.
That's a whole new other level.
Oh, that's
that's a whole other level.
Right.
I mean, they have dogs who can catch things. They have catch dogs. That's a whole different.
Yeah.
Like I said, is an emotional support.
Right.
And animals and dogs can sense when you're having a bad day.
Yeah.
And if you're not feeling well, like I had a dog, and when you're not feeling well, you had that common cold.
Right.
The animal knew.
Yeah.
And they would not leave your side.
Right. Yeah.
So, the whole other different level with these CNI dogs. That's an amazing thing to begin with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
To be able to maybe have a dog who's able to like open up the refrigerator and hand you a beer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a whole other level.
That sounds cool. If I ever get a dog, that's like the first trick I'm going to teach it.
I actually asked the trainer if I ever got a dog, could she do that? She goes, absolutely.
Yeah. That's good. It's good to know. Yeah. And then, so before we kind of wrap up this first segment, the other question I would have is just so people are aware, like the general area that you guys serve, so the people that you're bringing, like the pet therapy program and making those matches, is it just Jersey? Is it kind of like all over the country?
The pet therapy program is more like Bergen County.
Okay.
I mean, we've gone to Lyons, New Jersey.
Yep.
Which is a veterans hospital. That's, about an hour ride.
Yeah.
But as far as a pet therapy program, it's really more local.
Yeah.
Just
because you got to travel with the dogs.
We got to travel with the dogs.
And you're all volunteers and you got things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with the other program, with the emotional support dog program, we'll go pretty much anywhere if we're able.
Yeah.
In June, we're going to be giving a U.S. Army veteran a dog who lives in Joplin, Missouri.
Okay. Is that like your first kind of like foray into like beyond
Jersey?
Jersey.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's, we've had some in Jersey.
Right.
I believe, if I remember correctly, I think this will be the 5th or the 6th that we give.
Yeah.
And so, that's going to be the trainer will go out to Missouri and so that's, that's the furthest I believe that we've been so far.
Right. No, that's awesome. So we're in the second segment, we're going to get into more of how you kind of make those matches and make sure that everything's the right fit and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to take our first break of this episode. So this is the Greetings from the Garden State podcast. I'm Mike Ham. We are here at the Bergen County Harley Davidson in Rochelle Park with Brian Reyngoudt of Operation K9 Beethoven. We'll be right back. It is time for Today in New Jersey History. James Braddock, a 30-year-old Irish-American boxer from West New York, New Jersey, defeated Max Baer at Madison Square Garden Bowl, located at 48th Street and Northern Boulevard in Long Island City, New York, for the heavyweight championship on June 13th, 1935. Joe Louis, who defeated Braddock for the title the following year, proclaimed him the bravest man he ever fought, and the movie Cinderella Man was based on Braddock. And that is Today in New Jersey History. All right, welcome back for segment 2 of this episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm your host, Mike Ham. We are here with Brian Reyngoudt of Operation K9 Beethoven at the Bergen County Harley Davidson in Rochelle Park. So in the first segment, we kind of learned a little bit about your background and how Operation K9 Beethoven got started. But in the second segment, what we were kind of alluding to towards the end of the first one is, kind of what goes into making those matches. So obviously, like the second business that we were talking about is that you're actually matching dogs with
emotional support
dogs with people.
Yep.
So take me through maybe like the process of making sure that you're making good connections.
So the first process is that they go to our website, operationk9beethoven.com. They submit an application. They fill it out. And then it's sent to us, and we read it, and we look it over. And then our Veterans Relations Officer then sets up a phone interview with them. Okay. And they talk about a bunch of things, and he kind of tries to get to know the person a little bit.
Right.
And then we have a meeting, we have a meeting, and then we vote on if this is going to be a good applicant or not.
Okay.
And so what we do is we do that vote, and then once that is passed, then Melissa, our trainer at Bride K9 Training Center in Copenhagen, New York, she will then call the applicant, the participant, and recipient, I should say, and she will get to know like the lifestyle of that person.
Sure.
Do you like to run? Do you like to just sit around? Are you retired? Do you want to bring that dog to work 5 days a week? And she'll have like a nice dialogue, a few phone calls just to get to know that person and what they're all about. And then from that moment, then she will then speak with Christy, who is down at Second Chance Animal Rescue of Perry in Georgia. And then from that moment, they will decide on what temperament, what kind of dog can be placed in that situation, in that setting.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it kind of works. Like, we want to be able to try our best to absolutely pair that animal with the lifestyle of that person.
Sure.
You don't want to get like a dog who's, lazy and just likes kind of like, hangs out, and that gentleman wants to bring the dog to work every day, or that woman wants to run or walk or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So we try to do our best and our research so that, therefore, it could be a good match.
Yeah. So this might be a hard question to answer, but like generally, like how many dogs are in that pool that you're trying to pick from at the rescue?
It varies. It varies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it varies. I mean, it all depends. I mean, you got to rescue the dog, like I was telling you, from kill shelters or from euthanasia or off the streets.
Okay.
So it varies on how many are in that pool.
Got it. Okay, so the rescue center is going to go try to find a dog like that.
Yes,
Okay,
and sometimes they have gone to, like, kill shelters and saved the dog's life within 20 minutes to an hour before it was going to get, I don't want to say that word. It's horrible that people would do such a thing.
Right.
But unfortunately, there's people out there in this world.
Yeah.
And there's been times where, like I said, they saw a dog on the side of the street and they took the dog.
Yeah.
Rescued the dog.
Right.
So it all varies on what's available.
Yeah. No,
at that moment.
100%.
Yeah.
And then, I think that it's also interesting too, because it, like you said, maybe 20 minutes to an hour before something terrible happens, but also I think it's interesting too to kind of point out maybe the fact that, like, if you do have an applicant, you decide that it's a good person to support and match a dog with, kind of like, it may not happen right away because you got to find the right dog.
You have to find the right dog, or if we have a pool of dogs, then we can speed the process up a little bit.
Yeah.
But the process is always the same as far as that dog has to be trained.
Right.
So that's 4 weeks.
Yep.
And then depending on where that person lives, it all depends on travel time.
Yep.
Being able to set up schedules for Melissa at the training center to be able to bring that dog to that location. So it all depends.
Yeah.
It all varies.
Yeah. So we were talking earlier too about how, like, when people apply for this program,
yes,
and then you guys vote on it. So, like, what makes this is gonna be a weird question to ask, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, what makes an applicant that gets voted yes on? Like, what kind of goes into, like, things that you're looking for? Like, what
there's a various
Sure.
of things. I mean, obviously, what we do is we also do, like, if we're able, we'll do like a home inspection.
Okay.
We'll even Google Earth their address.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, we want to know that wherever these animals are going to a safe environment.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's various reasons why we'll vote yes or we'll vote no. It all depends. They have to have all their paperwork in. Mm-hmm. They have to have all their information in. They do need to be clinically diagnosed with PTSD, depression, anxiety. They have to continue their treatment as well. So, letters from a psychiatrist or a doctor, that plays into it as well. We also do check on their references. I mean, usually you're going to put a reference down. You're not going to put somebody down that's not going to give you a good reference.
Right.
But so we, if we're able to do a home inspection ourselves and it's local, we'll do that as well.
Yeah.
Myself or maybe Arpi or Justin will do that if we're able to do that if it's local here within Bergen County, New Jersey.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that play into that, having them accepted to our program.
Yeah, because I'm sure, just given, like, the nature of you guys and talking to you for the last, like 25 minutes, it just, excuse me, it seems like, if possible, you would like to help everybody.
Absolutely, that's the goal.
But it's just it's sometimes just not in the cards to be able to help everybody.
Sometimes, unfortunately, there has been times where we've had to deny people.
Yeah.
And luckily, that's not my job to do.
Yeah.
And that's a tough job. I think it's one of the toughest jobs that we have in this organization.
Right.
Is to say no to somebody.
Yeah, it's
because we
terrible.
don't want to say no to anybody.
Exactly.
We want to help
wanna
everybody.
Say no,
Yeah. So we want to help every single veteran that we possibly can. We want to help every single family member and first responders. Our veterans and our first responders. We as civilians. I don't know if you've served or not.
No.
But we as civilians, we got to help everybody. We got to help them because when we're running out, they're running in.
Right.
So, we have to help as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
To help them.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I had another question, but I forgot it. This is great.
It's all right. We can go to segment 3.
I'm an amazing host.
It's all right. You're good.
So, just I'm going to think about it for a second. No, it'll come to me in the third segment. I already know it. So maybe kind of like, I got it.
Okay.
So you match the person with the dog. With the emotional support dog, and then moving forward, is it kind of just like, all right, they're matched, like we're done?
Oh no,
or is it more of like an interactive relationship?
We try
forward?
to have a good relationship with them moving forward.
Yeah.
We'll do check-ins. We'll call them hey, how's everything going? If that person who receives that dog has questions, they can call Melissa.
Yep.
Get more advice.
Right.
Because sometimes these people may never had a dog in their lives.
Yeah.
So this is something new to them.
Right.
And it's also new to the dog. I mean, the dog is going through a horrible experience to begin with, and then going into a loving family, it might be a little difficult for that dog to adjust.
Yeah.
That dog has seen probably so many bad things that we can only imagine.
Right.
So, but yeah, we try to, keep our, relationships with that person.
Yeah.
And if they ever need anything, we're there for them.
Right, because that's really important.
Yeah.
Because not only for the person to make sure that they have the support, but for the dog too. Honestly, to make sure that they're in a good spot and doing the things that they were meant to be doing.
Yeah, and we're always available through phone call or through email. And, like I said, we want to build that relationship as well.
Yeah.
with
No,
the
100%.
person.
And then that's awesome. And I think that's a really cool thing, just because it just shows that it's just more than just doing the quick, kind of match or just bringing a dog over to
here's the
somebody's
dog,
house.
see you.
Yeah,
It's not at all. Not at all.
Right.
I mean, we about a year ago or so, we matched a dog with a gentleman, and I know that Arpi talks to him from time to time.
Yeah.
And they became friends.
Right.
And then that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we like to be there for those who get one of our amazing animals.
Right, because and even with that too, and this is going to tie in perfectly, and this is why I wanted to ask that question into the third segment about the community side of it, and it's not just the people that support Operation K9 Beethoven, it's the community of the people that are actually working there, and then the people that you've helped, because they're all part of that community and making sure that what you guys are doing is getting out there for people to know about it and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's amazing, and a perfect way to end this segment. So we're going to take our second and last break of this episode. So this is the Greetings from the Garden State podcast. I'm Mike Ham. We are here at the Bergen County Harley Davidson in Rochelle Park with Brian Reyngoudt of Operation K9 Beethoven. We'll be right back.
It is time for your New Jersey Fun Fact of the Day. Did you know that New Jersey is the leading state for the development and manufacturing of flavors and fragrances? And that is your New Jersey Fun Fact of the Day.
All right, we're back for segment 3 of this episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm your host, Mike Ham. We are here at the Bergen County Harley Davidson in Rochelle Park with Brian Reyngoudt of Operation K9 Beethoven. So in the first 2 segments, we learned about the background of Operation K9 Beethoven, kind of what goes into it, the pet therapy program, matching dogs with people that suffer from PTSD and all that kind of stuff. In the third segment, what we always like to do, and we're going to crush this segment, I already know, is talk about the community side of it. And obviously, a nonprofit like Operation K9 Beethoven needs a lot of support from the community.
Absolutely.
And there's a reason why we're here at Bergen County Harley Davidson in Rochelle Park.
Yeah.
Make sure I say it all the right way. Just because, that you told me that they've been a big supporter of what you guys do.
Since day one, they've been a huge supporter, and I just, every time I tell the owners and everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Arpi and I like to say, we don't know where we would be, without their support.
Yeah.
I mean, we have events here all the time throughout the summer. You can check those events out on our website at Operation K9 Beethoven, or give us a little like on Facebook at Operation K9 Beethoven. I mean, we do other events besides here at Bergen County Harley Davidson, but last year we had our first year anniversary. We had that party here, which was a great day. And so, Bergen County Harley Davidson and Rochelle Park, like I said, they've been really a huge supporter. Anything we need, we're here today.
Right.
I just made a phone call. Hey, I want to do this podcast with Greetings from New Jersey with Mike Ham.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you need? I need a room and a table and chairs.
Yep.
Not a problem.
Right.
So anything we ever need, they're always there for us.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you to Bergen County Harley Davidson.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a cool place. I've never been here. I'm not a motorcycle guy myself. Not that I would never try one, but I just haven't.
Yeah.
But I think that's amazing, and you need that kind of support.
Yeah. I mean, we have some other supporters.
Yeah.
The VFW here in Saddlebrook, New Jersey, which is down the road. Their auxiliary team have helped us out. They want to do fundraisers. They want to help us sell T-shirts at events. Claire and her team have been there, on this past Saturday, and they helped us sell T-shirts, because sometimes it's a little rough when it's just me and him, or me and him and the dogs and Justin, people want to talk to you. They want to, and then they're up at the table, and you got to sometimes there's a check presentation, so it gets a little, it does get a little busy, and a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
Thank God we have the dogs, right?
Yeah.
So
you need the emotional support. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we do. I think everybody, even if you may not suffer from PTSD or depression or anxiety or just need that emotional support, I think we all as humans need that. We all need it from time to time.
Exactly.
And so we do have a great support system within the community. The Nom Knights, we've dealt with them through the years. So we're very, very grateful to all of them.
Yeah.
Like today we're going to be going to Rolling Thunder Chapter 3 in Glen Gardner, New Jersey. They want to be a big supporter of us as well.
Awesome.
Warriors Run is another great organization. I'm not sure where they're out of, but Warriors Run, you can find them on Facebook. They've gone to events in Bayonne and helped us, sell T-shirts.
Yeah.
So, it's like I said, we're very grateful. I thank them each individually every time I see them.
Yeah.
For them wanting to help us.
Right.
And it's also the same thing too. You help me, I help you, we promote, we go to these events for you, you come to our events. So we always try to get that community together so we can all help each other.
Right, exactly.
Because we can't do this by ourselves.
Yeah, because the community thing is always, it's a two-way street.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Whether we talk to a business over the course of the lifespan of the show, a nonprofit, or just like a person that's cool from New Jersey.
Yeah.
The community side is always that two-way street, because if you're just like, hey, gimme, they're not gonna.
We just recently. I don't think I mentioned this, but we just recently met with this guy named Scott, and he's the head of the Bergen County Baggers. It's like the most professional cornhole league I've ever seen in my life. We were there yesterday in Saddlebrook at the VFW, hanging out with them, and they want to be a big supporter of us. They're actually running a fundraiser right now on their Facebook page. And so we're in the midst of talking and figuring out what we can do as fundraisers. But like I said, anything that's going to happen in the future, check us out on the Facebook page, Operation K9 Beethoven. Go to our website and check us out there as well.
Yeah.
And if you're able to come out to an event and show your face and say hi to the dogs and hang out for a little bit, we want it.
Yeah.
We want to help as many people as we possibly can.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So just generally speaking, like maybe what are some kind of events that people could expect to see you at?
We go to all different events. Mostly, I would say, motorcycle runs.
Sure.
Because clearly we're here at Bergen County Harley Davidson in Rochelle Park. So we do that. We do a lot of motorcycle runs. We'll go to vendor affairs. We've gone to classic car shows.
Yep.
We've gone to street fairs. I mean, it all depends. I mean, people reach out to us all the time and want us to come.
Right.
So we do like bike blessings. I mean, we'll go pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
Just to spread the word.
Right.
And
I'm pretty sure they're asking you to come, not for you, but
no, they're coming for the dogs.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time. Like myself and the rest of the team, we're just the pencil pushers and the pen pushers, and we vocalize our mission and our purpose, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, the real stars are Beethoven, Archie, Parker, Daisy, the other therapy dogs that we have. Because I can't remember the other. I think the other dog's name is Parika or Pepper. I'm not sure. But anyway, those are the real stars, and the stars are also the dogs that we rescue.
Right.
Because they're the ones that are making the difference.
Yeah.
So it's not us.
Right.
It's them.
Yeah, no, 100%. So if people are listening to this episode and they want to get involved in the community aspect of Operation K9 Beethoven, where can they go, or what are ways that they can go about doing that?
They can go to our website, operationk9beethoven.com. They can, make a donation. If they feel so inclined that they want to come out and volunteer, they can send us an email, and we can talk to them about those opportunities.
Yeah.
But they can also, go on our website and purchase our merchandise. Speaking of that, we at Operation K9 Beethoven want to present you, Mike, with an official Operation K9 Beethoven T-shirt.
I love that.
All right, that's for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll get a little shot for the camera over there.
Absolutely.
I'm a big T-shirt guy, so
Good.
this is
Me too.
my thing.
Me too. So, like I said, you can go to our website. You can reach out to us if you want to volunteer and help us sell some shirts.
Yeah.
We'll buy you lunch.
Even better.
We'll buy you lunch.
A dog and lunch. That's
A
like
dog
amazing.
and lunch and hang out. I'll make sure that Arpi pays for that personally.
Yeah. Right.
So that's the ways that you can help us here at Operation K9 Beethoven. And like I've said, all the money we make goes right back to the program, because when we place the emotional support dogs to that recipient, we try to give them a month's worth of dog food.
Yeah.
We buy them a kennel.
Awesome.
We get them treats. We get them bowls. We set them up for a good month.
Yeah.
With all those kind of things.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. And Beethoven just walked off, so I'm pretty sure he's done with this episode. But this was amazing. So I really appreciate you reaching out and making me aware of what you guys are doing.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, as soon as I learned more about it, went on the website, talked to you a little bit, I was like, yeah, this is a no-brainer. We got to get these guys on the show.
Awesome.
So OperationK9Beethoven.com is the website. Basically, if you search Operation K9 Beethoven, you're going to find.
You'll find it.
Yeah, you're going to find you guys.
Absolutely.
Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, the website, all that kind of stuff.
Twitter, I think we're on.
Okay.
I believe we're also on TikTok.
Oh,
I think.
Even better.
Yeah. So we're all over the place.
All over the place.
Yep.
Love it. So Brian, thank you so much for doing this episode with us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. So this has been an episode of Greetings from the Garden State. I'm Mike Hamm. We were here at the Bergen County Harley-Davidson in Rochelle Park with Brian Reyngoudt of Operation K9 Beethoven. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Crown of lights on me, yeah. It's only